Do you consume a poor diet regularly? Or are you living a chronically stressful life? Or maybe you went on vacation recently and came away with traveler's diarrhea? Or maybe you're taking a medication that's causing inflammation even though it's supporting the symptoms and the conditions that you're taking it for. If this sounds like you, then this video is going to be something you want to tune in today for, because I'm going to talk about supplements for gut inflammation. Now, we know gut inflammation can create all sorts of issues. But what happens is that gut inflammation is when the lining of the intestinal tract becomes inflamed. And it can cause issues such as digestive discomfort. So maybe you're having more bloating, more gas, more diarrhea, maybe more constipation. It also disturbs our nutrients. And so we often see nutrient malabsorption. And in the long run, it can cause chronic disease. So today I'm going to go through the role of supplements for gut inflammation, the types of gut inflammation properties that you want to be looking for in the supplements, as well as the potential benefits of adding them into your daily routine, and even possible side effects that you want to be on the lookout for. And then, of course, how do you choose the right gut inflammation supplement for yourself? My name is Marcy Vasky, and I'm a licensed nutritionist with Fluso Nutrients. And here we try to educate you with information so that you can make a good choice when you're thinking about taking supplementation. There's so many out there, and sometimes it can get kind of confusing and overwhelming on what to take. And so by providing you some information helps make you make a better educated decision. And if you still have questions, always remember to reach out and ask a supplement literate practitioner who can guide you in the right direction. So first, let's run through what is the impact of gut inflammation on our health. And we know that having a healthy gut is going to serve us the best and give us the most optimal health. And by having a gut that is inflamed, it can create a lot of issues in the way of digestive disruption, also creating immune deficiencies or a lessened immune system, as well as just chronic disease. Some diseases and syndromes that come out of this can show up like irritable bowel syndrome, or also it can be inflammatory bowel disease. Now, those things are in their own little world of digestive issues, but really it comes from gut inflammation. So when our gut is inflamed, what happens is that the body's immune system starts attacking itself, per se. It starts releasing chemicals that only then increase more inflammation. And when we have more inflammation, or this continuous type of inflammation going on, that creates the symptoms. And it does this by reducing the integrity of the gut barrier. And when that gut barrier has been compromised, then it lets toxins into the rest of our body, creating inflammation not only in our gut, but then of course in many other places within our body. Now, supplementation can be super helpful when dealing with gut inflammation. They're really designed to help bring down the inflammation in the gut and therefore let healing happen, and then you have a better running body. But it's not only supplements that can create a decrease in inflammation. And I'm a big proponent always of starting with nutrition first. And because what happens is if you're not eating a good diet, you are not going to out-supplement that, because it's just like butting heads, right? So you need to be sure that you're putting in good food when you're using supplementation that's going to help reduce the inflammation. That way you get to your goal more quickly. So today I'm going to cover 4 main anti-inflammatory supplements. Number 1 being omega-3 fatty fish oil. Number 2, probiotics. 3, ginger. And then we'll also talk about turmeric. So not only do these supplements help reduce inflammation, but they also help promote a better microbiome. So I just chose those four to talk about, but there are many anti-inflammatory kinds of supplements on the market, and sometimes they're mixed together, so synergistically they work in a different way. But I think if we just kind of break it down to the basics, one of the most popular ones that you're going to hear about all the time, we've done videos on, is going to be about probiotics. And probiotics is probably one of the most well-known in promoting a decrease in inflammation in the gut, as well as increasing the diversity of our microbiome. And then we also have those omega-3 fatty fish oils, which omega-3s are notoriously wonderful for reducing inflammation, not only in our gut, but really within our whole body. And it also, you've heard it really be popular for cardiac health, as well as, any kind of inflammatory joint problem going on. So adding in omega-3s can be super helpful for what we're discussing today. Also, we have those herbals that we're going to chat about, which is turmeric and also ginger. Those have been around for thousands of years and used for reducing inflammation in the body. Now, within these supplements, what are some key things that you should be looking for when you're out and about shopping for them? And there are, like I said, so many different anti-inflammatory supplements, but we'll start with omega-3s. So omega-3 fatty fish oil, like I said, is going to reduce inflammation. And so what you're really looking for, as in all supplementation, is going to be from a third-party tested company. And also, what is the product in there? Where are they sourcing that product? It can be from fish, or you can even get a plant-derived omega-3 fish oil. So just a couple things, just make sure you know where the oil has been sourced, and then the company that you're choosing from has been well vetted. So next on our list is probiotics. And when trying to choose a probiotic, you want to look at the strains of bacteria within the probiotic itself. And to make it nice and easy and helping when you're not specifically like trying to heal up a imbalanced flora where you might have a dysbiotic bacteria going on, but just kind of getting in general health and reducing inflammation, like we're talking about today, is to look for Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. Those two families of flora are the most abundant in our gut. And so just finding something with a few of those strains in there and then incorporating them into your daily routine is going to be helpful. Now the next one is one of the herbals, which is turmeric. And turmeric is kind of a yellowish herb. And what you're going to look for there is getting standardized curcumin extracts. And so just look on the ingredient label, see what it says. Also, you can find out where it's sourced, as well as what I said about omega-3s, and I didn't say it for probiotics, but make sure it comes from a reputable company that does have third-party testing. So you're just really looking for the type of turmeric that's in the bottle. And you may hear it may be called turmeric, and also I just said curcumin. That's another, that's like a derivative of turmeric, which is just within turmeric. So you're just kind of looking for specific words, easy, and turmeric is very anti-inflammatory. Now the last one is going to be ginger, and ginger again has been around for thousands of years to help soothe sore stomachs, and not only bringing down inflammation in the stomach, but people, I'm sure you've heard of ginger to be used like if you're nauseous, can be really helpful, or just help digestion in general when you're eating a meal. And so when you're looking at a ginger supplement, what you want to look for is the ginger extracts or something called gingerol. And those are going to be the active compounds in ginger that are going to give you the most benefit. Now, the benefits of incorporating gut or anti-gut inflammatory supplements is going to be, number one, bringing down inflammation so that you can help to have a better immune system, better digestive function, and have no chronic disease. The second thing is going to be helping to improve that microbiome. When we have a more diverse microbiome, then our body works so much better. It breaks down our foods better. We get more of our nutrients and vitamins out of our foods. And that is number 3, by enhancing and increasing our nutrient absorption. So those are going to be really exciting things to be putting in if you're struggling with gut inflammation. But I think the last thing that's great about adding in gut inflammation supplements is that you'll have a reduction in symptoms. And that's really exciting, especially if you've been dealing with gut health issues for a long time. It gets so overwhelming and frustrating when these symptoms just keep reoccurring. And so by adding in those anti-inflammatory supplements, you can reduce the symptoms of bloating and gas and the constipation, or maybe the diarrhea, or even the heartburn that you might be having. So, and that's maybe something you're going to feel first, is just a reduction in symptoms, and then things just kind of build upon that. Now, there's a lot of potentials to taking the supplements, but of course there's always a little bit of a side effect when taking supplements. And it just depends on the supplement and the person. And with these supplements that we talked about specifically today, omega-3s, probiotics, turmeric, and also ginger, sometimes people do have a little bit of GI disruption. So, if you've taken fish oil in the past and you're just burping it, first of all, look at the quality of the fish oil, but sometimes our gut just can't digest that very well. So maybe it's more important to put in, maybe trying the ginger first, because ginger is such a great supplement to help food digest, to help anything digest in our stomach. And so by even adding in ginger, because it's a very spicy type of herb, some people get a little bit of digestive upset, maybe a little bit of reflux, so you just need to reduce it. You kind of have to find your perfect spot with it. And I say that just to give you information so that if you are trying any of these supplements, then that goes for probiotics too. Sometimes we get a little bit more gassy in the beginning because it's getting out bad flora, but it's just good information to know. It doesn't mean you have to stop it completely, but maybe it's you just need to reduce it and just go gradually if you're feeling that you have symptoms. But if you have a big symptom, any kind of allergic reaction, or feeling that it's like you're vomiting, don't try it at all and just move on to something else of one of the things that we chatted about today. And so kind of coming off of that, how do you choose the supplement that's going to be right for you? And I think that that's where it can get kind of confusing sometimes, especially if you have a lot of gut issues. And then maybe that's where you need to talk to a health practitioner like myself or my colleague, who we do this stuff all day long. But if you want to do this on your own, you certainly can, because you can figure it out. And so I think by understanding what your key symptom is, maybe there's picking out like 2 of the worst symptoms, and then go from what I talked about today. And again, I will say that I talked about 4, but you'll see all sorts of different anti-inflammatory supplements. And sometimes there's a lot of things in them. So that's why I like to kind of take things, just have singulars, because then you know what's working and what's not working. So that's going to be number 1, trying to figure out what's going to be best suitable for you. I wouldn't try all 4 of them at one time. I never would. I would just start with like 1 and then add in another one. For example, let's say you have heartburn or you just don't digest your food well. I would try ginger first and do that for a couple weeks. And then I'd probably put in like a probiotic to see how that kind of helps. And then just go from there. Just one of the biggest things with gut health and in all of this is just listening to what your body is telling you. If you can't listen, then you're going to have a harder time trying to figure it out. So just tune in. Then other things to be looking for, of course, is always going to be transparency of the product that you're purchasing. So whatever product that is inside of the capsules, make sure it comes from a good source. And I think then with that information that I gave you today, looking for high quality supplementation, you're off to a great start in reducing your gut inflammation. And not only does gut anti-inflammatory supplements help to really reduce the inflammation, but we need to remember that it's our whole lifestyle that also can keep things moving in the wrong direction. So Things to be, kind of making changes in your lifestyle in addition to taking supplements to reduce the gut inflammation would be eating a whole foods balanced diet. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lots of good protein and lots of good healthy fats. That's going to keep inflammation low in general. Number 2 is making sure you're staying hydrated. So many times we are not hydrating enough, and it's remarkable what water can do. So keep drinking water, stay hydrated to help support the reduction of inflammation in your body. And of course, the big one, manage stress. I know that stress is all over us all the time, it feels like, on some days worse than others. But find ways that you can reduce stress. And maybe that's by incorporating some exercise. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's just taking 15 minutes at the end of your day or beginning of your day just to be with yourself and meditate and not, worrying about what's coming or what's already happened during the day. Find things to help reduce your stress. And then, of course, follow the recommendations on the supplements. That's going to be your guideline as far as where to begin with them. And then take the information that I gave you today in terms of if you're having a little symptom, just reduce it. Listen to your body is always my motto. That is the most important thing. So just to conclude with, those anti-inflammatory gut supplements can be really helpful. They can alleviate your symptoms, promote a healthier microbiome, and promote overall a healthy body. And so understanding what your symptoms are, choosing the right supplement for you, I hope this video helps you, put you in a good direction for making that decision. So thank you for joining me today, and click the subscribe button down below to get all of our videos in the future.